Hi, this is Dr. Narendra Gupta, the Medical Director of the Diabetes Hypertension Center in Atlanta, Georgia, United States. And it's my distinct pleasure to welcome you to this series of programs. And I'm going to talk about not what doctors prescribe to you, but 5 ways in which you can be successful in your life. Whether it's diabetes, obesity, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, all of them are very important. And the first thing is we have to learn not to overburden the system. And as we as Indians have come to realize that there's plentiful food, there's a lot of high calorie dense food, we must take preemptive action and change our eating a little bit. And what I would suggest is we should take 3 meals and 2 snacks. The idea is you take small meals more frequently so that the body can handle all this very effectively. As a result, accumulation of energy does not occur and we do not gain weight. Also, I want you to understand it's not just a coincidence that we are talking about breakfast being a very important meal. Breakfast is a very important meal because it gives a signal to the mind and the body that we have broken the fast. As a result, the thermostat, the burning power of the body suddenly starts going up. So taking breakfast, suddenly it tells the body, I have woken up, I need to get on with life. And children that go to school with breakfast in the morning always perform better. People who have breakfast at home and go to office always are able to perform better because they are awake. Now what do? We don't take breakfast. On the way, we'll take the largest cup of coffee and we are forcefully making our mind to wake up. That is the wrong way. And so we are hurting ourselves. We become our own enemy. We become the people that jeopardizes our health. So what is important is breakfast. And in the breakfast, if you can take a small amount of protein, then it's very useful. And what do I mean by protein? And sometimes vegetarians in the audience will wonder, how can I take protein? Very simple. Take the dals and put them in water and get them to ankur. Now, once the ankur or the sprouts are half an inch or longer, now they are ready to eat. Why half an inch? Once the sprouting is half an inch, the seed inside has become soft. So it is not going to cause you abdominal cramps. You will be able to digest it better. And taking that in the morning with a little bit of lime, a little bit of onions and tomatoes, it's a very tasty food. And all vegetarians are everybody. Now we have taken not only protein, but we have added fiber to our diet. We are winners. And so a simple thing about protein is very important. If you are non-vegetarian, certainly you can have certain things like eggs, egg whites, or other things that are protein, and taking the protein sets the tempo that slowly that energy is provided throughout the day. And again, the 3 meals and 2 snacks are very important. So breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, and dinner like a pauper. What happens is we rush out of the house, whether to school or to office, work like a donkey, and then come back home absolutely starved. At this stage, you can eat an elephant, and the body still thinks you are fasting. So the body doesn't burn that energy. So if you took 2,000 calories in 3 meals and 2 snacks, and if you took 2,000 calories in 1 meal, you will always have ill effects of the 2,000 with 1 meal. So 3 meals and 2 snacks. And sometimes snacks, we have a complication. What do? Well, a yogurt with some nuts in it is a very good snack. A fruit, an orange. So I want to suggest to you that when we eat these snacks are very important. Number 2, the second rule of how to be successful is the amount of water that we consume. And a simple rule is our weight in kilograms is the number of ounces. Now, an ounce is 30 milliliters. So if you are 100 kilogram, so you should take 100 ounces, which is 3 liters, and you should drink it throughout the day. If you pace this water, preferably in between meals. If we drink the water with meal, we'll dilute the digestive juices and we may not digest the food that well. But if we take it in between meals, then the stomach is never completely empty. The acid is never acting too harshly, and so we will not be very hungry and we will not eat too much. So the amount of water. On top, as a nephrologist, I want you to understand that we all need a certain amount of water to cleanse our body of the waste products. And depending on what kind of food, what physical activity, this may go up. In the summers, because of sweating, we should add 10, 20, 30% more water because we are perspiring more. But certainly 1 ounce per kilogram is a very good rule to follow. You don't allow the toxins to accumulate in the body. Once the toxin accumulates, they're going to cause ill effects. Your system is going to fall apart. Eventually, you will have illness and disease. So the amount of water is very important. The third rule in learning how to be successful in our life is exercise. And exercise doesn't have to be an enormous amount. Even the fact that we take a flight of steps, even the effort that we go to the mall and walk a little bit, parking your car a little bit further so you have to walk a little bit, these small excursions are very important. But the exercise I want to emphasize with you is cardio exercise. That means you elevate your heart rate, and the idea is to get it about 140. So anywhere around 130 to 140, you must have a strenuous exercise. It's a brisk walk going into the park. And for the ladies, at about 2.5 to 3 miles an hour initially is very good. For most men, 3 to 3.5 miles an hour, which will be about 5 kilometers. And you start slowly, 10 minutes every day. You do it, and you'll find at the end of 2 weeks, now you've reached your comfort zone. What do you do next? You elevate the ante. You elevate the stress. So now you go to 15 minutes. And once you are doing this for 15 minutes to 2 weeks, again you will reach a plateau. And at this stage, you will reach your comfort zone. Now again you elevate to 20 minutes and then to 25 minutes and 30 minutes. So the idea is every 5 minutes increase every 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks you're increasing it by 5 minutes, and that increases the stress on the body, and now your body is becoming more compatible with stress. 30 minutes, 6 to 7 days a week is a phenomenal way to stay out of illness. On top, whenever we have stress, whenever we feel that there's something that is going to have an extra stress on ourselves, we need to do 10% or 20% extra. And why did I introduce stress? And I want to tell you that the biggest problem we have today is speed. Speed is the root cause of every problem. Speed is the mother of anxiety. Anxiety is the mother of increase in adrenaline. Increase in adrenaline is the mother of depression, heart attack, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, obesity. The adrenaline will make your body run at 140 miles an hour, even though you're doing simple things, but your inside is wearing and tearing very fast. When you exercise, you are able to burn this adrenaline, and now you have reestablished yourself as a calm and comfortable person. This will lead to your wellness. So exercise is very important, 6 to 7 days a week. The fourth aspect of wellness is isometric exercise. And what do I mean by isometric exercise? This is weight training. So we use resistance by gravity, and we work against gravity to put resistance to the muscle. Now what I want you to understand that we are born with a certain amount of muscle mass. And why is muscle important? Well, all the energy in the body gets burnt in the muscle. So the furnace where energy gets burnt is in the muscle. After the age of 30, most people will start losing 1% of their muscle mass. If you have not been exercising most of your life, at the age of 20, if you have sedentary lifestyle, you'll start losing 1% of your muscle mass. What will happen? The energy that your body can burn at the age of 30, at the age of 40, it declines. As a result, you'll start gaining weight. And for the same amount of energy that you were taking, you'll wonder, I'm not doing anything. I'm eating the same food. How come I'm gaining weight? Because you're living a sedentary lifestyle, you're losing your muscle mass, your body cannot handle that energy, and you will gain weight. So at the age of 40, you will have a big pouch, a big paunch, a big stomach, and you'll feel lethargic. On top, what happens is you start feeling tired and fatigued and don't have energy. So isometric exercise is a very important part. And how do we do it? Very simple. Get dumbbells that are very easily available. Ladies should use 2 to 4 kilograms or 2 to 5 kilograms, and men should start with 5 kilograms. You lift it up. This is a rapid movement, and you bring it down very slowly. So you're resisting gravity, which is trying to pull the weight down, and you're resisting it. As a result, the tone in the muscles will get better, and you will have better success. Similarly, in the legs, there are several things. There's a straight leg raising. So you lie flat in the bed, you raise your legs 6 inches, and then you count 1001, 1002, 1003 to 1010, and then let it down. Then lift it again, 1001, 1002, 1003 to 1010. If you do a set of 10, and if you do 3 sets of 10, suddenly you made your quadricep muscles become stronger. And why is quadricep muscle important? I want you to understand one of the most common pain, joint pain, is knee pain. All joints in the body, are almost 99%, are a ball and socket joint. The ball goes into the socket, it is supported, and it does well and function. Well, the knee joint is a hinge joint. It is like this. The support of the knee joint is on the quadricep muscle. If the quadricep muscle is weak, the two joints are like this. If the quadricep muscle is strong, they'll be separated out. Suddenly, by building up your quadricep muscle, you can make your knee pain and your ability to walk much better. So isometric exercise, weight training is a very important aspect of continuing to build. Finally, the fifth thing, small but deliberate change. What is this I'm talking about? Incorporating fiber. If you take 50 grams of carbohydrate and you take 50 grams of fiber, you've neutralized the carb. It's not going to hurt you. And why is it very important? Well, there's a tremendous difference between orange juice and having orange. When you have the orange, the fiber inside the orange will neutralize the free carb, and so the body will absorb this very, very slowly over time, and the body can deal with it. But if you have orange juice, the blood sugar goes up like this, the body tries to bring it like this, and it's a total yo-yo phenomenon, up, down, roller coaster, up and down phenomena. So juices are not good, but taking fiber in the form of various things can be in. If people have constipation, we can use isofgol ki bhusi. I mean, isofgol is a very nice thing. It can be taken with milk, it can be taken with water. But what is important is whenever we use isofgol, then we should put a heaped tablespoon in a glass of water and leave it for 2 minutes. Now, isofgol will swell up. It has absorbed all the water, and it has a consistency. Now you swallow this and take half a glass of water on top. This will be a perfect amount of fiber, and it can take care of various cholesterols in the body. So if you add fiber in your diet, you're not only going to make the diabetes better, you're not only making your cholesterol better, you will lose weight, you will decrease the incidence of colon and small intestine cancer, and you will feel a lot better. So small, important thing. The other thing in diet, while I'm on the fifth, which is mostly to do with diet, is avoiding anything that is white. White bread, very common in India. I come here and I see my friends and relatives all eat white bread. It's the worst thing that anybody can take. Try whole grain, multi-grain bread. Now, the first few days, you're not going to feel happy about it. But if you take it, it has much more taste. White bread is bland. Multigrain bread has taste, and you will develop a taste for this thing. So adding fiber, even the flour that we use to make chapatis, adding 2-3 different kinds of grain and getting your own grain mix and flour made and making chapatis from that, which has high fiber, will certainly. Finally, at the topic of diet, a lot of controversy has occurred about fat. And I want to understand that we have to take 1/3 of protein, 1/3 of carbohydrate, and 1/3 of fat. Each one of them is important. If there was a simple diet that anybody could, you have these Atkins diet, the South Beach diet, everybody is trying to tout. But I'm trying to tell you, let us keep it simple, stupid. Don't make it too complicated. So 1/3 and 1/3 of all different varieties of food. Now, the vegetarians will think, how do I make a protein? Well, the dals or lentils are a very important source of protein. You cannot get fat on dals and lentils. And so what is important is our dals are very, very important. You can have it as a dal, or you can have it as a dry ankur as well. On top, whenever we are trying to saute it, then you don't have to use ghee. Use vegetable oil or olive oil or polyunsaturated or monounsaturated fat, and they will. Fats are very important because when you fast and you take fruits all day, you are never satisfied. You and I have experienced that when we are fasting, we can keep all the fruits, but you constantly, because carbohydrate does not have any satiety in this. That means the body doesn't feel it has eaten. The moment you add fat to the food, it'll give you satiety or satisfaction that you've eaten. While at the task of eating, I want you to understand that one of the key things that we have found out, subconscious eating. That means we take the food and we are driving and we are eating. We are watching television and eating. We are doing something else and we are eating. This subconscious way of eating will always lead to eating excessively. Whenever we are very hungry, we will always eat excessively. So if you have to go to a party, you don't have to starve yourself for 2 days to go to a party. That is absolutely a wrong way to do things. What is important is your health is important, and not eating out like a pig at a party. It's your health. You have to be in charge. You have to be on the saddle. And so taking responsibility for yourself by little things that we eat is very important. Thank you. I really appreciate your indulgence.